Hello friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. So today's video is a tag video. I am doing the Another Palette tag. This was created by Kaleido. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Her video will be down in the description box, and also my friend Anya's video will be in the description box. I first found this tag because of her video, so thank you, Anya, for introducing it to me. Her tag is down in the description box as well in case you want to see more of these videos. I like the idea of this tag just because we can really just sit back, chill, chat about eyeshadow palettes. It's a good time, you know? I like the questions in this. I thought it was really creative, and I'm excited to see other people's answers in this when hopefully other people do it. Also, I did film this look, of course, like I do all of my looks. It's I think already up. I think it's the video before this one. So go check it out in case you have not. There are 9 questions in this tag, so let's just jump right on in. Question number 1, your first palette. Technically, my first palette I ever bought was one of those really, really large BH Cosmetics palettes that has like hundreds of shadows in it. It's like double layered, you can take it apart, and they're all like teeny tiny, and it's just a massive amount of rainbow colors. I can't remember which volume. I think at the time there were like 5 of them. I don't even know if those still exist anymore. But technically that was one of my first eyeshadow palettes that I can remember. But my first like eyeshadow palette that I bought for the intention of buying this specific palette was the Urban Decay Electric palette. I bought that about, goodness, it's been a while now. I think it was early 2014, mid 2014, something like that. It was right around that zone. So I think I just graduated cosmetology school. So I think summer of 2014 is when I bought that palette. So it's been a while. And I think the BH Cosmetics palette I bought right around that same time as well. Actually, now that I think about it, I might have gotten the Urban Decay one before the BH Cosmetics one. I think I got the BH Cosmetics one afterwards when I started realizing I liked playing with colorful makeup. So yeah, I think the Urban Decay Electric palette was my number 1 palette that I bought. Interesting. I don't have it anymore. Well, technically I have it. It's put up and stored away in my closet because I can't get rid of it for sentimental reasons because it was my first. But I don't like the palette anymore. I don't think the quality's that great. I just like other things a lot better, so I don't touch it anymore. In my mind, it's gone, but I technically do still have it. Number 2, my most recent purchase. Technically, my most recent purchase was the Menagerie Cosmetics Squid Ink palette. I'm so excited for that, or Violet Ink, I think is what it's called. It's a really pretty purple micro palette. I can't wait to have it in my possession. Technically, Menagerie Cosmetics reached out to me and they offered to put me on their PR list, which is so freaking exciting. And she explicitly told me do not buy the next releases, but I got paranoid that she's gonna forget about me or I'm just not gonna get it, so I bought it anyways, and I figured I'll just give it to a friend if I have 2 of them. Oh, I'm so excited though. I can't wait to have that palette in my possession. But besides that one, since I don't technically physically have that one yet, my most recent purchase was the ColourPop Honey palette. It is ColourPop's yellow monochromatic palette. I actually had a great time playing with this. It was a lot of fun. I created some really pretty looks with it, I think, and yeah, this was my most recent purchase. As far as eyeshadow palettes go, I think I bought some other things besides eyeshadow palettes, but I can't even remember. Number 3, one you regret missing out on. The first 2 that come to mind are the ColourPop My Little Pony palette. It was so cute. It was so nostalgic. I loved the colors in it. I'm so mad at myself that I didn't get it because it was so cheap. Why didn't I get it? I don't know. And I also regret missing out on the Melt, what was it called? Smoke Sessions, the weed themed palette. It was so pretty. I loved those bluey, tealy, greeny tones. So yummy and so cool. I loved the look of both of those. I actually have a whole video on palettes I regret not buying. I think I mentioned both of those in that video, and I've also mentioned some other ones, and I've actually acquired some of them since that video. Some were gifts from you guys, so thank you. But I have a whole video on palettes that I regret missing out on. In case you want to see that, I'll have that down below. Number 4, one that makes you happy to look at. This came to mind immediately. It's definitely the Nomad Cosmetics Tokyo Harajuku palette. Like, just the cover itself is just so adorable. There are kittens and bunnies and pirate cats and skulls and ladybugs and ice cream, and it's just so cute. And then the inside is just a pastel paradise. I love these multi-chromes. These satins are so pretty. The mattes are so cute. I loved playing with this palette so much. It brings me joy just to stare at it. You can't be angry while looking at this palette. Number 5, one you've changed your mind about. I had a hard time thinking about this one actually because I couldn't think of one that like maybe I loved for a long time and then suddenly hated. I mean, I guess the Urban Decay Electric palette kind of falls in that category because I used to love it and now I don't like it. So I guess I technically changed my mind about that one. But the only other one that really came to mind is the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia. And not that it's bad or anything, but when I got it, I used this like crazy. This was back when I wore a lot more neutral tones for a period of time, especially warm neutrals, just like the typical what beauty YouTubers tell you to wear kind of makeup. I used to wear this all the time. It's very much dented, very much well loved, and I used to think this was the palette to have. Everyone needed this. It was a staple. It was so revolutionary, and at the time I feel like it was kind of revolutionary. Palettes weren't really having that mix of neutrals with pinks and reds at that time, but now I do not think everybody needs this palette. Like, it's a pretty palette. It performs well. It's nice, but I don't think it's a necessity anymore at all. So I've changed my mind about this one. Number 6, one that surprised you. This is another one that I couldn't really think of a good answer for at first because I couldn't really think of one that I just thought going into it was going to be absolutely awful and then tried it and then loved it. Because if I think it's going to be awful, I don't tend to want to buy it. But this one surprised me in a good way. This is the Strobe Cosmetics Creepy Cute palette. It looks like this. It surprised me because when I got it, I thought, okay, cool, a cute pastel palette. I'm excited for it. I'm here for it, whatever. And then when I tried it, while it is a cute, beautiful pastel palette, the pigmentation is so rich. They're so bright and pigmented while still being pastels, and they're so insanely creamy and blendable. The formula of this just blew me out of the water. This was my first purchase from Strobe Cosmetics, and I was so astounded. I had a feeling I was going to like this palette because I'd heard good things about it, but I didn't know it was going to be this good. So this one definitely surprised me in that sense. I guess under that question, I could also include the Alter Ego palettes. I wasn't sure how good they would be. I didn't think they'd be absolute trash, but I didn't think they'd be as good as they are. The metallics in those Alter Ego palettes are just unreal. Number 7, one that inspires you the most. I couldn't think of just one. I had to pick 2, and they are the Menagerie Cosmetics Whale Song palette. This palette is so inspiring to me. It's so pretty. I had such a blast playing with this beautiful piece of art. And the other one is the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette. Similar vibe, super similar vibe, but both of these palettes are just so inspiring to me. I love playing with them. I create the most beautiful, grungy, aquatic looks, and I adore it. I could play with these palettes every day and I would be content, honestly. Number 8, one on your wish list. I don't know if I have anything on my wish list, guys. Truly. I feel like once in a while I go through a spurt where, or just the beauty community goes through a spurt where it releases so many things that I love and adore and I buy a bunch of. And then I go through a spurt where I'm cool and chill and I'm good with just what I have, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Let me search through Trend Mood really quick and see if maybe something pops up that I'm not realizing that I'm into. Well, the first thing that pops up is this Queen palette, Fumi X Juvius. I don't know what this palette's gonna be, but my interest is piqued, to say the least. That's potentially on my wish list. You know, I haven't bought anything from Manny's brand Lunar Beauty in a long time, but the cover of that strawberry palette that is about to be released, I think that it gets announced today, the day I'm filming this, what it looks like. But just the cover of it looks so good and yummy. There it is. I couldn't find it. This Strawberry Dream. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm very much anticipating it to be a neutral palette, but I feel like it could be a beautiful, yummy, pink strawberry cuteness, and that's potentially on my wish list. Is there anything else that I'm into? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Everything else seems kind of, I don't know, been there, done that. Hope that's not too mean. I guess the Laya 2 palette, I think is what it's called, from Blush Tribe. It's on pre-order right now. It's mostly greens with a pop of yellow. That one's on my wish list. I've been thinking about pre-ordering it for a little while now. But I don't know. I'm not burnt out on green and blue eyeshadow, but I've played with so much green and blue eyeshadow lately. I don't feel that need in my soul to get more of it right now. I don't know. I guess those are all potentially on my wish list, but I don't I don't know if I'll end up getting any of them. And then finally, number 9, your no fail palette. I feel like everyone will know the answer to this if you've been on my channel for some time. The Ace Beauté Flare palette is my number 1 favorite. It's so good. When I don't know what look I want to do, I pull out this palette. If I'm traveling, I bring this palette. If I'm doing my makeup and I don't have to film it, chances are I'm using this palette. It's so pretty. I love it so much. I'm never disappointed with my looks. I feel like I can get a really good variety, and I feel like this palette's really easy to make grungy, colorful looks with, which is my go-to kind of style, and I just love it. The flare is always here for me. I love Ace Beauté so much. Well, that's it. That's the end of the tag. Those are all the questions. I really liked this tag. It was fun to kind of sit back and answer them, and I don't know, just, you know, talk about eyeshadow. It was fun. I would love to hear your answers. If you have a channel, I totally tag you to do this. It's very fun. And if you don't have a channel, I still want to hear your answers down in the description box. I love chatting with you guys with these tag videos. I think they're fun. Way for us to get to know each other a little bit more. Did any of you guys know any of the answers I was going to say before I said them? I would love to know that as well. If you enjoyed this tag video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please hop over to my Instagram. It's beautbean. Follow me there. I post every single day. And don't forget to subscribe here before you leave. I post most days here as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.